Hello, and welcome to this educational platform of Ghatana Chakra Book video. Our aim is to deliver knowledge to you in a simple, clear, and accessible manner. Let us begin this journey of learning and success.
So there's this massive policy shift happening in India right now, and it's set to completely reshape a huge chunk of the economy. We're not talking about a small adjustment here. This is a major overhaul aimed at firing up brand new engines for the country's growth. Let's get into it.
To really get a handle on just how big a deal this is, let me ask you something. Just take a guess. What single sector in India do you think employs over 60% of the entire workforce?
Yeah, you heard that right. A staggering 60%. That means the vast majority of people working in the country are all in this one specific area.
And it's not just about jobs, not by a long shot. This same sector is an absolute powerhouse when it comes to trade, accounting for a massive 40% of all of India's exports.
And if that wasn't enough, it also chips in almost a third, around 29%, to India's entire GDP. I mean, these numbers are huge. They point to an economic force that's kind of the unsung hero of the whole operation.
So what are we talking about here? We're talking about India's real economic engine, the one you might not always see in the headlines, the micro, small, and medium enterprises sector. You'll hear it called MSMEs.
Now, you might look at that 29% and think, well, it's not the biggest slice of the pie, right? But don't let that fool you. Its impact is absolutely massive. This sector is the lifeblood of the economy, powering everything from your local workshop to major international exports.
And this is the engine that's about to get a major upgrade, thanks to a whole new policy blueprint from the government.
This whole thing kicked off with a really important report from NITI Aayog, which is India's main policy think tank. This document right here is basically the game plan, laying out exactly how this transformation is supposed to work.
So before we go any further, let's just quickly make sure we're on the same page. MSME stands for micro, small, and medium enterprises. Think of the small workshops, the local manufacturers, the mid-sized tech companies. These are the businesses that are really the backbone of the entire economy.
Okay, so what's the big idea here? What's the core change in this new policy? Well, it all boils down to one simple but powerful thing. They are completely redefining what it even means to be a micro, small, or medium business in the first place.
So check this out. The old way was super simple, maybe too simple. A company's size was defined only by how much money was invested in it, and the limits were pretty low. The new way, it's a whole different ballgame. They're looking at two things now: investment and your annual turnover, and the limits for both are way higher.
And when you look at the actual numbers, wow, it is a dramatic shift. Just to give you some context, 1 crore is 10 million rupees. So let's look at the medium category. The investment limit jumps from 50 all the way up to 125 crore. But then they've added this whole new rule, a turnover limit of 500 crore. This isn't just tweaking the numbers, folks. This is a complete rethink of what a medium business can be.
All right, so you're probably asking, why? Why such a massive change? Well, the strategy is all about one thing: unlocking growth for the future.
The thinking behind it is pretty smart, and it breaks down into 3 key goals. First, you expand the reach. More companies can now fit into the MSME box and get the benefits. Second, and this is the really critical part, you strengthen them. You see, with the old rules, companies would literally hit a ceiling and stop growing on purpose, just so they wouldn't lose their MSME status. Crazy, right? This new policy says, go ahead, grow. We want you to. And third, the goal is to transform these companies into bigger, more competitive players on the global stage.
And you don't have to take my word for it. The report spells it out plain as day. The ultimate goal is to transform medium enterprises into key engines of India's future economic growth. It's that simple and that ambitious. Which, of course, leads us to the big, final question. Is it possible that this simple change, just redefining some numbers in a policy document, could actually be the key that unlocks a whole new era of economic growth for India? That is the multi-trillion rupee question that this new policy is putting to the test.